Hey kid, you wanna see a dead body? Within the lore of the Legend of Zelda series, there are many dark aspects and secrets, some more open than others, but one of the darkest, bloodiest, and most intense secrets deal with the Sheikah and the Shadow Temple from Ocarina of Time. It is no secret that the Sheikah are known as the Shadow Folk and have faithfully served the Royal Family of Hyrule for generations. The truth behind their most secretive tasks, especially when linked to the Shadow Temple, are horrifying. While on the outside, the temple is obviously a grim display, but the usage and bloody history of what is conducted here on the behalf of the royal family will make you think twice about the morality of Princess Zelda's kin. Within the Shadow Temple, the Sheikah convene in order to accomplish very specific tasks ordered by the royal family of Hyrule. Missions that, like the temple and the Sheikah themselves, must remain hidden in the dark. Imagine if the royal family had enemies they did not want to deal with in the public eye, that they needed to inflict their will on these individuals without trial, justice, or empathy. Well, the royal family did have a way with dealing with these issues, and more importantly, they had a way to keep their hands clean. The Sheikah, whose lives the royal family were entrusted, and the Shadow Temple. Here, it is historically known that the Sheikah, with their swift and dark arts, would steal away enemies of the royal family from the light to be taken to the temple, and it is here on the behalf of the royal family the Sheikah would harshly interrogate the individuals for information relating to any malevolent will towards the royal family and their allies, using various forms of torture. These lucky few are speculated to be released if compliant, but must never breathe the words of what transpires deep behind the graveyard of Kakariko Village, as the Sheikah will always be watching them from the shadows. But I say lucky few for a reason, as interrogations and torture aren't the only activities held in the Shadow Temple by the Sheikah. For enemies of the royal family taken to the temple that were not compliant in interrogation or are targeted specifically by the royal family await a far worse fate. Much worse. If the tone didn't already spell it out for you, here in the Shadow Temple, executions take place. Enemies of the royal family are taken here to be killed in the dark by the Sheikah, out of the public eye to never be heard of again, to never be a thorn in the side of the royal family, to have their remains left and forgotten in the deep catacombs of the Shadow Temple. Looking at the decorum and what awaits Link in the depths of this dungeon, it will be a horrifying sight to all those forcefully taken here by the Sheikah. And imagine this to be your last sight before you draw your last breath under the blades ordered by the royal family. The contraptions here are obviously suited for torture, and now it has become clear on who these devices were meant for. And quite possibly, it could be theorized that the malevolent entities present in the Shadow Temple are manifestations of the restless spirits of the tortured and killed, reanimated with the dark energy pervading the temple, perhaps even that of Bongo Bongo itself. Just imagine being a dissenter, openly unhappy with the Hyrulean government, walking home one night only to have a bag thrown over your head by some ninjas, only to wake up in this death house. With this bloody history of the Shadow Temple tied directly to that of the royal family, it has become clear that in the years leading up to the events of Ocarina of Time, that the family distanced themselves from this dark place and forbade anyone within the castle grounds to even speak of the Shadow Temple. It could be possible that the Hyrulean Civil War, which predates the events of Ocarina of Time, had a hand in this change of heart. Or possibly it was the actions of the royal family's deeds in the Shadow Temple that led to the spark that started the Hyrulean Civil War, or possibly aided in the war's end, or maybe even both, as the end of the Hyrulean Civil War was marked by the King of Hyrule unifying the land under the banner of the royal family. The Sheikah's actions in the background of the war could have led to this endgame, capturing enemies, interrogating them for information, torturing them for compliance, or executing them for victory. And with the war over, the shame of the royal family was too great to make use of these grounds ever again. And that is the true dark reality of one of the most terrifying areas known to the Zelda series. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. That's right, The Legend of Zelda isn't as bright and beautiful as you may think on the outside. I've got more videos fleshing out the series lore and locations. If that is something you're down for, please be sure to like, share, favorite, and most importantly subscribe to HMK as I post Zelda content every week. Big thanks to my Patreon supporters for help making this video happen. If you want to find out how you can support HMK for just $1 a month, check out my Patreon info in the description box below. Alright guys, until the next message from the 5th dimension, this has been HMK, and I'll check you guys later.